We came aboard, those guys were sophomores, and at that time, and looking for direction, bought in early on, and was a part of the first history-making bowl team, and then was a part of a bowl qualifying season again a year ago. Just so proud of all those who stayed, what they've been able to accomplish on the football field. We'll have several of those guys get an opportunity to continue their career, whether it's a couple of them, whether it's the NFL, the Alliance League, or even Canadian football. A handful of them will have those opportunities. But most important, they'll all leave here with a degree in hand. And that is truly the full measure of success that we talk about. Their leadership, the maturity of those young men. When you think of Yanni, when you think of Kevin Strong, Jalen Rhodes, David Anzadula, just quality men who do the right thing. C.J. Levine, Darryl Godfrey, guys who haven't always played a ton of football. A lot of them played in the back end of their careers, in C.J. and those guys, and then David, but they're exactly what we talk about when we talk about quality young men that come to our program to get a degree in hand that gives them stability and security for a lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? They're part of our roots. Those guys who are seniors right now, they were here in our inaugural year of the new staff, and of course this year would like for it to have ended better on the back end for those guys from a football standpoint. But the college experience have been second to none. They've traveled the world. They've been treated first class by way of travel, and just every day in what they do, they've served or been under two great presidents, and the leadership of Dr. Amy right now, and Lisa Campos is one that's tremendous, that are allowing them to get the treatment of a Division I player and how it should be. And so that experience for them is priceless. We'll send them out the right way in more ways than one. And football is a critical component, but it's not the only component. That the college experience is one that they'll treasure for a lifetime. And I think when you talk to those young men, they'll tell you their experience here have been second to none. Let's see who we have offensively. We have Greg Campbell. Greg Campbell will be the guy from an offensive standpoint. So we have Greg, Marquez, Anzadula, Jalen Rhodes, Jordan Wright. So those are the five. Three of those five play extensively. So you're talking about three seniors, and Greg being the one that probably exemplified the leadership. And he's probably more by doing than saying. He's not a big vocal guy, but he displays it by work ethic and style of play. I think they're self-motivated. I think they're prideful young men who have stayed, who have weathered, who came for opportunity, has an appreciation for it, and want to do well and want to leave a legacy of their time here. I take every one of them again. They're what you build team around, those type of young men. That he can step in, that he can run the offense. I was saying earlier that they're all coached the same. We don't coach one different than the other. So their tutelage, their teaching is one of the same, of even the guy who's the one. And so wherever you're at on a depth chart, you still get the same coaching, you still get the same teaching, and you still have the same responsibilities to be prepared to go if your name is called upon. And had not had any game reps prior to this week or last week, and stepped in and played a game to the best of his ability. Proud of Bryce, proud of the young man that he is, his competitive spirit, and giving us a chance to compete.
Did he do enough to be considered the starter for next week, or is that still up in the air?
We'll see how this week goes. Here's what I thought defensively. Whenever an opponent gets the ball deep down in there, it tests the team. It tests their wherewithal. It tests their toughness. It tests their pride to see how they'll respond. And when you're talking about first and goal, and stood in there, and whether they run game or assault, opportunities with individual one-on-one shots of a fade ball. Very proud of our football team. They played too many snaps defensively. And so when you look at it statistically, it's not pretty. But when you look at it in reality of production, of limiting them with third down conversions, limiting them for one of 6 touchdowns in the red zone. They kicked field goals, but they scored 1 touchdown. It's the big play. And so you're talking about a handful of plays that makes the difference in a game. And it's glaring because that one shot isn't like a 6-yard run. It's a 40-yard touchdown or 50-yard gain. And you come back and you defend 9 others really good, but that one made a difference in statistics and score. And it was about 5 to 6 of them out of 80 in a game. So 6 out of 80 was the difference in the game. Because for the most part, we held steady, we tackled well, we defended the ball. But 6 to 8 out of 80 were balls or shots that were explosives that turned into points for them. Athletic, they're bright, they're eager, and they make mistakes. You live with those mistakes. Once upon a time, I recruited a young man from Briarcrest High School in Memphis, Tennessee by the name of Michael Orr. And I remember going to Baton Rouge and watching Glenn Dorsey destroy him. You're like, oh my God. Then the next week we played Wyoming, and they had a 5'11" defensive tackle that just went by him. It's like, and he got discouraged, just hanging there, and he became a top 5 pick, and the rest is history. You know how that story goes. But he started as a true freshman at a guard position, not a tackle. So it reminds me of that type of situation where they're more talented than some of the veteran guys. And you know in time they will be. They just aren't right now. But you live with their mistakes because they have ability. And in time they'll be fine. And at that position, experience is the best teacher. When you talk about, you very rarely hear of an offensive lineman declaring early for the draft. That doesn't happen. And people talk about their intellect. Well, their intellect is based on their playing. They have to play. It's not high school where I line up in front, Steve, and just block him. They don't stay still. He's not going to be. That guy can drop to the middle of the field. And that guy that's playing defensive end can loop around. And I'm trying to block you, and he's coming, and he's blindsided me, and then it just so much happens. So the more they play, the more intellectually inclined they become. But they got to go through it, and we're willing to with those guys because we think they're very talented, and they give us a chance in the future.